The Descendants is directed by Alexander Payne and stars George Clooney, Shailene Woodley, Amara Miller, and Nick Krause. The story of The Descendants is with his wife on life support after a boating accident. Hawaiian land baron Matt King, played by George Clooney, takes his daughters over to Oahu to Kauai to confront the real estate broker who was having an affair with her and will make a fortune off of land that Clooney's cousins are egging him on to sell. I've been looking forward to this movie for a while, and it's gotten a lot of Oscar buzz, mainly for Best Picture and Best Actor George Clooney. I went in with very high hopes and ultimately was a little bit underwhelmed, actually. This movie is good, however I was expecting much more. The cast is fine here, nobody does any poor work, except that I'm really on the fence about this Sid character because I have three different feelings about him, because either he could have been cut out of the movie entirely, but then most of the jokes have been out the window, or his character was written poorly, maybe not, or maybe he just needed to be recast. Maybe none of the above. George Clooney has an opening voiceover that's a little bit reminiscent of Up in the Air, and his character is actually kind of like his character in Up in the Air, only it's in Hawaii and not the same job, but kind of the same demeanor and sort of the same attitude towards life and, family matters in general. This incident with his wife is meant to bring him together with his two girls who he doesn't spend that much time with, and ultimately it does, but the thing was that I was not that invested emotionally into this movie. I was expecting to care for these characters, and while I'm sure a majority of people can relate to these people, as people have lost their mothers all over the world, however, I personally have not, therefore I cannot relate. Also, I just wasn't very emotionally invested in any of these characters. It's not that I didn't care, it's just that I didn't care as much for them as I should have, and therefore this film was not as good as I was hoping. I'm sure a lot of people will be upset considering how this movie has gotten high praise. I'm not saying it's a bad film, I'm just saying that I wasn't particularly impressed by it. I imagine that most people would enjoy The Descendants. It's not going to be a 5-star rating for everyone, however I do think that most people will enjoy it for what it is. I am sure that the Academy will nominate this movie for several things, however I am not entirely certain it will win any of those nominations, but I could be wrong. I give The Descendants 3 out of 5 stars. If you want to see it, go out and see it. You may love it. Who knows? I think that this is best viewed as a matinee, otherwise a rental if you can wait.